In Episode 8 of Mayor of Kingstown Season 4, Merle Callahan finds a method to harm the McLusky family even further, escalating the tension. Even while this season has dedicated a lot of time to creating new characters who have come to Kingstown, those who have a long history with Mike McLusky continue to pose the greatest threat. But that doesn't mean the other gangs, including the Cartel and Frank Moses' highly adept mafia, aren't wreaking havoc that the mayor is finding difficult to control. Beyond that, a number of significant occurrences are occurring throughout the city, making the Kingstown Police Department extremely busy. All things considered, Mayor of Kingstown Season 4, Episode May 8 have been the most dynamic and intense episode of the season thus far, laying the groundwork for the season finale, in which Mike McLusky must take decisive action to keep Kingstown from collapsing. Mike and Anchor Bay Warden Nina Hobbs have been at odds throughout Season 4. Nina strongly resisted Mike's demands for special rights and access so he could carry out his duties as the unelected mayor. But now that the cartel has endangered Nina's daughter, she seems less eager to assist her covert superiors and more interested in forming a partnership with Mike, where she might be able to escape their grip. For example, Nina calls Mike before anyone else when they learn that Callahan has escaped from prison. Naturally, Callahan poses no threat to the cartel, only to Mike and his family, but the fact that she is now cooperating with Mike is still relevant. Mike and Bunny are preparing to strike back after learning the truth about Frank Moses' plans with Bunny and the fact that he recruited Lamar to join his gang in an attempt to defeat Bunny. While Bunny remains bedridden in the hospital and Frank must pretend to be nice when he comes in order to maintain his cover, Mike is actively carrying out a plan by visiting Lamar and forcing him to murder Frank's closest pal. Recognizing that neither Frank nor Bunny can trust him, Lamar follows Mike's instructions in the hopes that Mike would shield him from any consequences. But it is likely that Mike is pitting these outsiders against one another to keep Kingstown and his longtime friends safe. Since Callahan's incarceration, the Aryan Brotherhood has operated part of its drug operation out of Shaver's home, which Callahan briefly visits. Callahan exacts retribution by burning Shaver to death after learning that Shaver had made disparaging remarks about Callahan and his operation. Additionally, Callahan has his men burn down Mike's family home and break into Mike's office. All of that, however, is nothing compared to the way Callahan ends the episode. Mike and a few KPD officers travel to Anchor Bay to see the Aryan Brotherhood and obtain their own answers while Callahan wreaks havoc outside. After the warden lines up the ABs in the courtyard, Mike, Ian, Stevie, and a few other KPD officers approach the convicts to question them about Callahan's whereabouts and plans. But when Stevie notices where they are gathering, he is reminded of how these same prisoners brutally killed Kareem, the prior warden. When Stevie's questions go unanswered, Mike lets him vent his rage on a Brotherhood member who keeps challenging Stevie. The man is severely beaten by Stevie, nearly to death, but they are only given hints of what would happen to Mike's family. Unfortunately, Callahan was able to find out where Kyle McLusky's wife, Tracy, and their infant boy were hiding thanks to his break-ins and the recent commotion in Kingstown, but Mike and the KPD were unable to obtain information nearly as quickly. A phone is delivered to the cell for Kyle to answer after Callahan coerces Tracy into calling Anchor Bay. But when Tracy's tone is off, he can tell almost instantly that something is awry. It is shown that Callahan is with her in the house, threatening to kill them both while holding her son. Callahan hangs up the phone after causing Kyle great grief, allowing Tracy a chance to plead for her son's life. He reacts icily, leading Tracy to assume that he will kill them both. After a brief pause outside the house, a baby's cry can be heard as Callahan leaves the house in Mayor of Kingstown Season 4, Episode 8. Although Tracy is unquestionably dead, the helpless infant son has not suffered the same fate.